Statistics indicate that 1 out of 4 African-American males are adjudicated by the courts. There are over 1 million African-American males, fathers, brothers, uncles, that are incarcerated in this country. One of our goals and objectives of the speakers on the stage is to reduce the virus in our community: AIDS, addiction to incarceration, and death syndrome. Our goal is to reduce the number of kids that go to jail and reduce the number who go to jail and come back out and go back in. We believe that it's possible. Let us say together, it's possible.
In 1999, I found myself in a federal courtroom being sentenced to 8 years in prison. The next 30 days, I was in Yazoo, Mississippi, in a jail cell as small as a bathroom. I spent the next 365 days in that space, only leaving out for 1 hour to another space that I couldn't see the sun. At nighttime, you could hear men crying and screaming because the room seemed like it was getting smaller and smaller. For the first 21 days in that space, I agonized because I couldn't find any peace. But on the 22nd day, a phone call to my mother changed my existence forever. I called home trying to be strong and not show any emotion. And I said to my mom, I said, "Mom, I can't do this." And during the course of the conversation, I broke down. She said, "Baby, yes, you can, because through God, you can find the strength. You can do all things." I said, "Mom, I can't do it." She said, "Yes, you can." She said, "You're in jail inside, but I'm in jail out here." And I said, "Mom, it's a difference." She said, "How can you say it's different? Have you ever carried a child for 9 months and had to receive a phone call from a jail cell?" At that point, I realized that my choices not only affected me, but it affected all the people that I loved. 2 days later, I received a box from my mother. It had a letter and 20 books. And the letter was simple. It said, "Carrie, Nelson Mandela spent 28 years in prison. You've been sentenced to 8. He did it, and so can you." And here's the thing that Mandela said he did while he was locked up. And the first thing that the letter said was that he continually aligned himself with God. So one of the books that was in that box was a Bible. I started reading my Bible every day. And I asked God, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to learn from this situation? And he revealed to me that I'm supposed to go out and share my message to young people so that they don't make the same bad choices that I made. And also inside of that box was a book by Les Brown called Live Your Dreams. I read that book from cover to cover once, twice, 3 times. And I started to feel good about myself. I started to understand the power of mind development. And during the course of my 6 years that I was locked up, I read 300 books. I got my degree in the development of children. I'm a certified personal trainer. I have a diploma in financial planning. And right now, I still read 2 or 3 books a month, and I listen at CDs. So the education point was very, very powerful. The next thing that he said is the books. Those books were such a key for me because when I read those books, it took me from that space that I was in. I didn't feel as trapped as I was inside of that space before I got the books. The books helped to free my mind. And we all know when you're reading, you gain knowledge. So I was able to start standing up. My self-esteem grew through the roof. And I felt like I could do more than just run around selling drugs and doing things that destroy people's lives. I wanted to make an impact on people's lives in a positive way. And so I took all of those things and I started to see myself in a different manner. I had a positive self-image of myself. And the last thing, and I felt like it was the most important thing, is self-discipline. I knew if I couldn't discipline myself, I couldn't do any of those first things. So while I was in that space, I began to fast. I would do 2 days without eating. I would just only drink water because I knew when I got home, there were going to be difficult challenges for me to face. I had a wife. I had a child. I wanted to be productive in my life, so I needed self-discipline. And I knew I couldn't go anywhere without self-discipline. And so I built that self-discipline through just fasting and praying while I was in that space. And I want to leave you with this one thought today. If my mother would have given up on me, I wouldn't be here speaking to you right now. So my advice to the community is never, ever give up on the kids. I'm a living witness that change is very possible. Thank you.